Alright. That makes 4 of our 80s. So 80s are going to be these guys here, our top, our sides giving us our height. And that's determined because we know each box is 20 inches tall. And so we just did 20 times 4. 4 boxes tall gives us 80. That 20 inches gives us a ½ inch between each box. It's going to make it nice and tight. Alright, we're back. So, we need 32 pieces cut to 45 inches. So, we get 2 of those out of each one of those. Means we need 90-inch long pieces. So, we got enough for that. So we're going to go ahead and get started on cutting all those. And then we'll head to the store and get these things swapped out for some fresh ones here. So, we got 32 because each one of these bays is going to take a 2x4 on each post side for these boxes to rest on. So we know we need 4 on each side is 8. So 8, 16, 32 at 45. We got the length because of the length of our boxes is 45. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up on this particular miter saw stand. We have these stops here that we can set. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure 45 inches on my board here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it. There's tons of ways you can do this. There's no magic perfect way. What I'm gonna do is make my cut. Now that's gonna be my spacer, right? So I like to bring my saw, I lock it. So now I can butt my piece of wood up to that. Unlock here, slide her in, boom. So now I know all I do is touch my board to that, squirt to my fence, and it'll be 45 to the blade. Drop that guy, we'll come over here, and you'll see that every time, just set it right there. Now we can repeat these real fast. When you're making a lot of repeat cuts, it's very, very redundant. So when you can do something like this, it really helps. So I'm gonna stop talking now and get to cutting. So we got a lot of these bad boys to cut. Alright, start assembling now. We're going to start with the outside rails. The only difference is the outsides are only going to have these 2x4s on the insides, and all the others are going to have 2x4s on both sides. So we're going to get a basic set up here. We're going to start at the top and the bottom. Now, pretty straightforward. The only real thing we're going to want to make sure that we do is put our speed square on the edge and square these off to the vertical. Go ahead and start. Line it up on the on our top line and with the face. We'll be square both places. Square on there. Hold her. So once we get all the top and bottoms in, we'll know that our frame is square all the way across. So let's get these in real quick. We'll talk about that. Alright. You'll see there's a little gap there. A little up tap. Lined up there. Shoot her in. We did have some slight shiftage. That's okay though. Alright. Come over here. Do the same thing. Oh, I already went in some. That was quick. I'm just gonna run her off right there. Wind up. So now that we got our top and bottom square, we know that our frame itself is going to be square. You guys see here, I put the ugly on the inside of the frame. That way when these boxes get in there, you won't see it. Grab two more, keep on moving. What I'm going to do here is one in on this side. And that allows this piece to still pivot. You see how that's not lined up? Now I can move that up. Get your line. We're gonna shoot both here. We'll come back over here, put our second in. We're gonna do the same thing up here. Alright, so there's one wall, or one outer vertical. So you can see it's going to be a pretty big rack, but we have pretty big boxes. We keep moving on this and we'll be back here in a few minutes once we get a couple more done. Alright, so we got everything assembled here. It's laying down, obviously. This is our base, that's the top. So you guys can see now where those totes are going to slide in. Last step is we're going to do plywood backer. It's going to get screwed into all these studs. That's going to give it strength laterally so that this frame doesn't just tip over on itself, because these are butt joints, what these are called. Like I said, when we're taking screws and going into end grain, which is this portion here on this 2x4, it's a very, very weak joint. The grain's running this way, so you're going between these fibers and splitting them, and it's not very strong. So we're gonna add that sheathing on there. It's all gonna get screwed together, and then it'll get stood upright, and then we'll slide some of those totes in. So we'll come back here in a few minutes when I'm getting ready to screw that on. We'll videotape that. Alright everybody, got her all finished up. So you see we put the plywood back on there. So now we're stable this way, going this direction. We're just already stable that way because everything goes that way. I broke my lid, so that's a bummer. Swap that out. You can see, slides not in. I left about a ½ inch on either side, so that was planned, and you can see underneath down there in the base there's about a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 inch, and that'll be consistent throughout. On our top, slides right in there, nice snug fit. But that's it. I'll get some snapshots of it with everything loaded up inside of it when it's all said and done. See y'all on the next project.